they look very professional, and they invest or manage that resource. Maybe your number one resource at the end of a job is the money you make, and managing that. Um, it can be tricky. I know for a fact, through experience, that it's one of the toughest things to do is manage that resource. But reinvesting back into yourself, back into your company, back into your employees, back into your equipment, and making yourself that much more um, valuable, but also efficient.
Yeah, efficient. That's what it is, right? Like, and some of the things that you mentioned too are are purchases that when you're not generating the revenue that you'd like to generate in order to invest in some of that, that you can't see the benefit. But I'll just give a flat out scenario, real life scenario, and how we got to a point where we're just like, we're just going to buy brand new vehicles. Is we were buying used vehicles, dumping money into them. The amount of money that we were putting into our vehicles to maintain them on a monthly basis, on average, well, we could have probably bought a couple brand new vehicles at the end of a year or 2 years, if you look at it. And it was just like, like, but there's things that you got to build up to get to that point. But the money and the resource part, like, you're right. That is kind of that dance that you have to find. You got to find your sweet spot on pricing. You got to find your sweet spot on production, on efficiency. You got to find all these sweet spots for it to look really good at the end of a quarter, or be acceptable at the end of a quarter. I mean, so some quarters don't look really good, but then the next quarter is when that overflow comes in, and like, oh, there it is, there it is. I thought I lost you, but no, you're there. You're there. I see you.
Yeah.
And understanding some of that too.
Well, a lot of people think just charging more, charging what you're worth. Well, first off, you have to really know what you're worth, and that can be subjective. But efficiency is a surefire way. Quality, like understanding, being educated in the flooring that you're doing, and then being efficient at that product, or those products, that series of products. That is where, from an installer standpoint, when I installed on a daily basis, that's where I made the most money, was understanding the processes, the sequences on the job site, as well as knowing what I was doing. Um, I didn't always know what I was doing, and so I had a good comparison.